Hello, my very most beautiful Taurus. How is everyone? I hope you guys are all doing amazing. So, my lovelies, we are going to be doing your July bonus reading. Now, this is a general reading, so it may not be able to resonate for all of you. And if you want something that is meant for your exact energy, then I do have personals open. And everything that you'll need to know will be in the description box below for you. So, this is your bonus reading, which means it's all about the person on your mind. So whoever you're thinking about, Taurus, that is who this reading is intended for. So archangels, spirit guides, and ancestors, please deliver clear messages with a very clear understanding for my very most beautiful Taurus. Please, may the messages that need to be heard the very most please come through. May they please find those who need to hear it. Please show me Taurus's energy, a very clear message with a very clear understanding. All right, my loves, let's take a look and see what we've got going on for you. I wonder if you're moving on. I wish things could be different. I wasn't ready. I didn't want you to know the truth. And I want you at the bottom. Somebody messed things up here. And it almost feels like, especially with this, I didn't want you to know the truth and I wasn't ready. It's almost like they're regretting their reaction or their response now. But maybe it was very intense. That's kind of an energy that I'm feeling. I feel like when they met you, they may have been in an unexpected energy. Okay, so maybe it was they had a lot going on, or just maybe they weren't expecting it to be so intense. And some of them could have ran, some of them could have ghosted. It could be an energy like that, or they could have sabotaged things for some of them as well. But it's this energy where they're wishing they could go back in time. They're wishing they would have handled things differently. I do feel like with this, I wonder if you're moving on. I feel like it's more than that. It kind of feels to me that they wonder if it's too late. Because they do. They still want you. And maybe they felt ashamed, or maybe they felt, maybe this is somebody who has a hard time being vulnerable. And this, I didn't want you to know the truth. Especially if they were in if they had a lot of other stuff going on. So maybe they were in a bad financial position, or maybe they had, some other things going on that they were embarrassed about on top of it. And if they have a hard time being vulnerable, it's like they didn't want you to know all of that. Let's take a look and see. We're going to look at their head space, their heart space, their true intentions, and their actions. Show me this person's thoughts when it comes to Taurus, please. What's going on in their thoughts when it comes to Taurus? We've got the Queen of Pentacles. So that can be an energy of resources, like I said, especially like financially. Maybe they didn't have a stable home position, or a stable or a positive home situation, or financial situation, job situation. It could have been something like that. Could have been a factor as well, because the Queen of Pentacles can be a card of the home and resources. I also feel like this is like this energy of one, not wanting anybody else to have to take care of them, but also wanting to be able to take care of and provide for. It's like they have this energy where that's something that's important to them, and they felt like they couldn't do that at the time. King of Swords. So it could have really caused them to pull back, especially, aside from that, even if it wasn't a home situation or a financial situation. This is a general reading, so we're going to pick up a lot of different messages here. But, it could have just been, the Queen of Pentacles can be an energy of a crossroads. And also investing time, effort, and energy into something, really being committed to something. And maybe they weren't ready for that. Maybe it was very intense and it was just like all of a sudden. King of Swords can be trying to be a little bit emotionally detached. It can be cutting things out, cold shoulder type energy. So yeah, some of them definitely could have just really switched up their energy, pulled back. They could have ghosted. They just didn't handle the situation the right way. Yeah, the Nine of Pentacles, they thought, it's easier for me if I just stay on my own. The Queen of Wands, but there is a lot of attraction here. A lot of attraction here between the two of you. And I feel like maybe that's what it started off as. Maybe they thought it was just going to be physical, or it was just going to be a fling, because the Queen of Wands can just be very fun and very social. And I just feel like it could have been too much for them at the time. But I feel like they're having a lot of regrets. Show me their heart space. The Nine of Swords. So they spend a lot of time thinking about the situation. They spend a lot of time thinking about it. I do feel like they're very upset by it. Stressed out even. Ten of Cups. Chariot. So the Chariot is kind of, one, it is a card of forward movement, a card of momentum. It's also a card of having faith. And sometimes it can resonate being pulled in separate directions. You see there's two horses here. In the traditional deck, there's sphinxes. But here they're horses. But even on this deck, you can see they're kind of pulled into two separate directions. I feel like this person could have felt pulled into two separate directions. And I just feel like their feelings kind of got, their fears, their anxieties could have got the best of them. But I do feel like now they're seeing where they could have maybe been really happy with you. With that Ten of Cups. Show me what this person's true intentions are. Moving forward, what are their true intentions? The Sun card. So I feel like they're seeing a lot now. The Sun eliminates things for us, especially things that maybe we couldn't see before, things that were hidden. I also feel like it's just happiness. They want to be happy. They want to make you happy. The Six of Swords. So they want to overcome obstacles. They want to have a transition. They want to move forward. Some of you guys could have lived at a distance from this person. Doesn't have to be. Got the Two of Wands. Leaving a comfort zone. So I do feel like that is there. Some of you guys, especially for those of you that where there is some kind of like travel where there's maybe a distance, they could be making it, planning to come and see you, even maybe a move. But the Six of Swords, Two of Wands, Sun card. So a lot's being shown to them, a lot's being illuminated for them here. And the Two of Wands can be making a decision, but it's also leaving a comfort zone and going in a new path. So maybe this is still a little unnerving to them, you know, getting into a commitment, or especially if there's very intense, you know, a very intense connection. But the Six of Swords says they feel like you guys can overcome whatever the obstacles are, and they're willing to make that transition. What actions will this person be taking? Six of Cups. Spending a lot of time on memory lane, spending a lot of time thinking about you. Wow, the High Priest. It's called the High Priest in this deck, but it's the Hierophant. Love that. So ready for commitment. So it's like they're going from, I wasn't ready and I wasn't in a position and I didn't want you to know that, to, you know, I can't stop thinking about you. I can't get you off my mind. I think we could have been really happy, and I'm ready to give it a chance, and I'm ready to move forward. The High Priest, I'm ready to commit to this. The Ace of Swords. For some of them, so this must be, maybe this is only for one person. For those of you where you live at a distance and this person is actually thinking about moving, they could have already, with this Ace of Swords and High Priest energy, they could have already started looking for jobs in your area just to see what the options are. That's interesting. But you got the Ace of Swords, High Priest. So I do feel like this person is planning on communicating, especially with the Ace of Swords. They're gaining a lot of clarity. They're figuring things out. And I feel like they're ready to tell you the truth. Because I don't think it's a coincidence that it's coming out under, I didn't want you to know the truth. Because at the time they were, you know, maybe they felt ashamed or embarrassed or having a hard time being vulnerable or frightened by the intensity, just all of that. And they may have had a harder time articulating it like I am right now. They could have had a hard time expressing themselves. So they could have just, instead of responding, they reacted. And I feel like they're having a lot of regrets about that. But the Ace of Swords, I do feel like they're about to make things clear to you. I do feel like they're about to tell you the truth. They're about to tell you the truth. And you have the Seven of Swords in the reverse at the bottom of the deck too. So that is a truth coming out. So I do feel like somebody's about to tell you the truth in a situation here. So we're going to grab another deck. I want to take a look at what the biggest challenge is in the situation for you, Taurus. What you don't see coming, and then some advice. So what is the biggest challenge in this situation for Taurus, please? If I've been calling you Capricorn, I don't know if I did, but I keep getting Capricorn in my mind. So some of you guys could be dealing with a Capricorn. If I've been calling you Capricorn, then I am so sorry, my loves. I do know who I'm reading for. All right, Taurus. The Ace of Pentacles. So the thing with the Ace of Pentacles is it's a little bit different than the other aces. The other all of the aces can be potentials and opportunities. But the Ace of Pentacles is a little bit different because this one you actually have to do something with. You actually have to like put some work in, okay, to have it. So it's like there's potential here, but you have to work for it. And I feel like because of the things that you guys have been through already, there could be some trust stuff. It's saying that there is going to be the potential for this to be something very solid and stable. But there's some work that is going to need to be done on both sides. But we have the Nine of Cups here too. So some of you guys have been wishing for this or hoping for this. And I feel like especially some of you guys just wanted clarity. You didn't understand because something like, I feel like it started off so amazing and then just, it was like a very abrupt shift. So maybe this energy here could almost feel like too good to be true. So it's like trusting that, being able to trust it, especially after last time. That could definitely be a challenge. So what doesn't Taurus see coming? Got the Five of Cups, the Ten of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. For some of you guys, you don't trust it. Some of you guys, it's going to be more than a challenge. This person could express themselves, but for some of you guys, I feel like you guys could already be in a new connection, but I don't think that's for very many of you. For most of you, I feel like you don't trust this. You don't trust this person after what's happened. You feel betrayed by the way that they handle the situation. Especially for those of you where they sabotaged it, you really could feel betrayed. There could have been some edge of betrayal. And you could have been having a hard time, moving on from this. So I definitely feel like for some of you guys, what you don't see coming is that even though this person is coming in, you're still not going to be able to trust it. Some of you guys are going to choose not to take this back. Now, I don't feel like that's the case for all of you, but it is showing up for some of you. What advice do we have? The Eight of Cups. The Two of Swords. Some of you guys are going to have a hard time making a decision here. The Two of Swords is like an indecisive energy, and the Eight of Cups, walking away. So some of you guys are going to have a hard time deciding on whether you want to take this back or not. When it comes to the Two of Swords, the advice with the Two of Swords is, and especially because this is for our advice. So the advice that comes with the Two of Swords is really looking within. And sometimes we already know what we need to do. We just don't want to face that truth. Okay, because her hands are not bound. She could just set those swords down and take the blindfold off, and then she could see clearly. But sometimes we, what is that expression? Love is blind. Sometimes we have blinders on, or we, don't want to face up to something that we know is already true deep down. So I do feel like a lot of you guys already do know what to do in a situation. It's just about trusting that and really taking the time to make that decision. Only you guys get to decide what's best for you. Okay, but that is what I have for you. If it resonates, please let me know in the comments down below. If it doesn't, check out your other sign placement. Sometimes your moon, rising, and Venus will actually resonate more than your sun sign does. If you like the way that I read, please like, share, and subscribe. And most importantly, if you want personal prayers for any reason at all, go ahead and put the little prayer emoji in the comments down below, and I will go through and pray for you. So I am sending so much love and light until next time.